Now, for some crazy reason, elected officials in Alberta seem to think that Albertans deserve to live in a democracy. I know, where the federal government can't violate the rights of Albertans at a whim. I guess that's why Premier Danielle Smith's government is planning on introducing legislation to prevent federal government employees from trespassing onto private land very shortly. Now, if I was in charge, I would take it one step further and mandate Alberta its own passport. Given Justin's love of mandates and passports, I'm sure he wouldn't object. Now, any federal official wanting to even visit Alberta would have to be granted entry, and just to be fair, Justin, vac status wouldn't be a requirement. On March 1st, House Leader Joseph Cho outlined the legislative agenda for the spring session, which is expected to last 1 month. It will be the final sitting before the next provincial election to be held on May 29th. One of the proposed bills to be introduced this session includes Bill 9, the Red Tape Reduction Statutes Amendment Act. Yes, I know, government wanting to reduce red tape. I know, counterintuitive. Which will make amendments to the Trespass Act and the Petty Trespass Act in order to prevent the entry of federal government agents onto privately owned land in Alberta without permission. At a news conference on March 1st, Cho said if federal employees decide to trespass on private land, they will be charged. In this province, we do respect property rights. And unlike Ottawa, And it's always nice to ask for permission before you go on someone's private land. Whoa, nice to ask for permission. Very Canadian, said Cho. So we're making that an offense in this province. Now, I would take this even one more step further. Given that any violation by a federal employee will be defended ultimately by you and I as taxpayers, I would add the caveat that should a federal employee violate the new law, they have to defend themselves on their own dime. Of course, unlike the Liberal government, just to be fair, if the federal employee ultimately wins in court, they can seek reimbursement for their legal expenses, but if and only should they win. And if their supervisor or someone else had encouraged this action, they will ultimately wind up paying for it out of their own pocket. Justice Minister Tyler Shandro is expected to provide specific details about the bill once it's tabled. A spokesperson for Shandro said there has been no confirmed cases of trespassing by federal government employees in Alberta, but that concerns were raised by landowners following events that transpired in Saskatchewan in 2022, when a property owner identified trespassing occurring without permission. Well, given the Trudeau government's zeal to seize guns, resources, and prosecute churches preaching hate speech, hate speech such as men are men, women are women, I'm sure it won't be long before they violate Alberta space. Last summer, the Saskatchewan government amended its laws to include federal workers among those who cannot trespass after a landowner in that province alleged federal inspectors took water samples from a dugout on private land without consent. I guess our politicians really took to heart the first line of that old Woody Guthrie song. You youngsters wouldn't know, but look it up. This land is your land and this land is my land. But seemed to have reworked it more to a WEF socialist version, which goes more like, your land is my land and my land is my land. The Alberta government said a review determined the trespass legislation in the province could be further strengthened. I've never known government to be proactive. So the fact they did a review indicates to me anyways, they expect it to happen and want legislation in place for when it does. NDP leader Rachel Notley said the bills seemed to be part of a longer pattern to distract Albertans from key priorities that really matter to them and to pick fights with Ottawa. Yes, Rachel, you're absolutely right. If there's anything we've learned over the past 3 years, it's that there are far more important issues than individual property rights and sovereignty to worry about, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can always follow me on my Rumble, on my Locals account. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Get on board, subscribe, and check out some of the past videos. I have loads of them. I think you'll enjoy them. And of course, as always, I welcome your comments. See you next time.